Hello bikers, thanks for tuning in to another Biker Man video. Today I'm out at the Santa Fe Trestle Trail in downtown Dallas. The Santa Fe Trestle Trail connecting with the Trinity Skyline Trail. Got some beautiful downtown views, some nice nature views, and some great gravel riding. So stay tuned and see you out there. So this first section of the trail is kind of under construction. There were a few sections of the trail that were, but this first section here, there's a lot of tractors and dump trucks moving in and out. Nonetheless, I really enjoyed it because the gravel is like a really nice gravel. We had just gotten rain, but the gravel was easy riding. And as you come up, you can see you pass under some old bridges and get some great views of the city. For this ride, I actually parked. There's a little parking lot, a DART overflow parking lot, at Santa Fe Avenue and East 8th Street, right next to Moore Park. And from there, you get on the Trestle Trail and you can connect to the main trail. I think on this side of the river, the Trinity's. It's still the Trinity Skyline Trail, but it's a little bit unclear just looking at Google Maps. But nonetheless, there's rideable pathway around both sides of the river, which is really cool. And you can see here that you've got some nice areas of downtown that you're going through, while there's off to your left-hand side is the Trinity River. And there you go, there's downtown Dallas. For any of you that have been down there, you know this, but the way that the trail works is that there's this riverbed area, which I'm kind of riding in now, and then it slopes up on either side, and on the top of the slope on either side is the main trail that you can ride. But then there are several areas that sort of loop down in like a C shape, so you can go down towards the river. The river is just to the left here, right down this ledge. It kind of comes down, there's a C shape, it brings you back up to the main trail if you want to, and it's sort of just continuous set of sort of C-shaped trail to C-shaped trail, so on and so forth downward. So you can make this ride as long as you want, because depending on how many of those little diversions you take or whether or not you stay on the top trail, it could either be real quick or you could take your time. You can get down here, have some nice views of the river, and kind of explore a little bit under some of these bridges. It's pretty cool little setup, although I'm not totally clear if it's intentional, and I'm also not 100% clear. It doesn't say no riding anywhere or no trespassing, but you can tell that it wasn't intentionally designed for biking. But I mean, I did see other people, but you could just tell that, I don't know, maybe it's a work in progress. And here's another one of those little C-shaped, the little C-shaped trail areas that come down. You can see you're close to the river here. You got a beautiful view of the city, and see, like, this area has been done. With the previous area that I was riding was all dirt, single track. So. I know that if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that I ride a hardtail mountain bike. But really, anything like, I don't know if you want to ride this like on a regular road bike, but like a gravel bike and up would be totally fine. This is like 99% of this is really solidly packed. Even if it was just had rained, like there's not water sitting anywhere, and so it really could be a ride for just about anyone. And if you wanted to stay on a road bike, if you wanted to ride a road bike, a lot of it is paved, like this section here. But for somebody on a sort of, I guess a hardtail mountain bike kind of is like a gravel bike. For somebody like me, the mixed media, the mixed surfaces is actually awesome. It's just a fun variety. And one thing that is really hard to tell when you're looking on Google Maps of just like the Trinity Riverbed area is Google Maps will show a bunch of, green lines where the trails are, but it doesn't really show all of the areas that you can cross the river. And this is one example of a spot where I didn't realize that I could cross the river here. It shows a bridge on Google Maps, but I'm not really one to want to ride with traffic in downtown Dallas. I mean, Texas drivers are crazy as it is, so I didn't plan on crossing the river here. But because there was this road area underneath, I took the opportunity to cross it and get back, so that I could just ride as much variety as possible on this ride. I had planned to just do an out and back, because I didn't know if I was going to be able to cross the river without going through 5 lanes of traffic or whatever. But this was a beautiful spot, really cool. And now I'm back on the opposite side of the river, so on the side away from Dallas. And this side was, I think, of the two sides, probably a little bit less sort of maintained. There are areas here where they are doing construction and adding, cemented path area. So I don't know what the timeline is for having that all done. But again, for me, I like the variety. But just an FYI, some of the areas are like this with the cement. Some of the areas are not. As you can see, a lot of the areas have awesome views, though, downtown. So actually, the thing that inspired me to do this trail was that my Trinity Forest Trail video that I posted previously, I'll put the card up here for you. That was, it looks to me like going to be one portion of this main trail. So I was kind of curious, well, what does this next section look like? I haven't had an opportunity to ride sort of just like the dirt areas in between it. I'm not even sure that you're allowed to, but eventually I assume that all of that will connect with this. And if that's the case, this is going to be an incredible area for just like outdoor enthusiasts, running, hiking, biking. I mean, it's just going to be incredible. Some of these views down here for nerds like me who just love like bridges and buildings and nature and whatnot. I mean, like this old railroad bridge up here. This one's really, really cool. I'm not sure how old it is, but I don't know. Maybe this is where the Trestle Trail gets its name. But there's several older sort of antique railroad trestles that you get to see along the ride. Check that out. It's just so cool. This is the section that I mentioned before where they are just putting new cement down. I'm not sure if I ended up capturing it in the video or not, but there was literally crews out there laying cement as I was going. So for you road bikers out there, you can see this is going to be really fun. Really nice ride. Kind of interesting just because, in heavy rain years, it'll be interesting to see how high the water comes up. But nonetheless, hopefully it'll be, for most of the year, be a good ride for everybody. This was a section where I ran into the construction workers actually putting cement down, so I had to climb up the hill here. But this will give you a good vantage point of the trails. Like I mentioned, there's trails down below in sort of the riverbed area. You can see down there, that's cement. And then where I'm at up on this berm, you could ride this around the whole perimeter also. And this was one of my favorite views of the day. And that construction team is right down there to the left. You can see it. They were looking at me like, what are you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the Santa Fe Trestle Trail ride, and to the channel in general. And thanks for watching to the end. I really enjoyed this one. It was a great ride. I ended up getting about 20 miles out of it, and you know, you can kind of customize it. Probably could have gotten a little more or a little less depending on what you want to do, but great views, great surfaces, and you know, you're getting a little bit of the city, a little bit of nature. I definitely recommend getting out there and doing it, and I can't wait to do it again, and hopefully in the future connect to some other rides that are in and around downtown. Thanks for tuning in to Biker Man, and like, subscribe. We'll see you out there.